I'm going to do a quick introduction. So my name is Matt. I'm with the North Sound ACH. For the last year or so, I've been working with a community of practice, just a group of, hey Beth, a group of organizations, and we've been putting together a well-being survey that is now live and out, and we're in the middle of that collection period. So myself and some of the group here are going to talk to you a little bit about that, kind of where we've been, how it all got put together, where we're at currently, and then I'll kind of wrap us up with where we're going in the future with that. So Joni, go ahead.
Good morning, I'm Joni Hensley, and I'm a faith community nurse with the Health Ministries Network. I also volunteer at Unbridled Spirit. I never knew in sitting at a convening that I would join a table one day that was all about data and end up not really learning too much about data, but actually about well-being. And so it was my privilege to work with a dynamic group for about this last year to pull together a well-being survey. And anybody who's done surveys knows that the agreement on a lot of different things have to happen before you roll a survey out. And within about 6 months, with Matt's support, monthly meetings, that we were able to pull together a survey, both in print format, online, and using a QR code. So I was asked, well, would anybody like to pilot this? And it just so happened that we had a nursing retreat planned for August, and I asked our wonderful ED if I could have a little time there, and was given 1 hour to administer the survey, and then also to kind of have a dialogue meeting about what does well-being mean to our nurses. So I wouldn't recommend that you squeeze all of this into 1 hour. It was a little nerve-wracking. My well-being was not good prior to doing this, but it was successful. And what we did was actually did the survey with our nurses using the QR codes on their smartphones. Most of us nurses are older, we're retired, and so for some of us it was a bit of a challenge. But what we found out was that there really was some common ground with well-being and with barriers to that well-being, even within the congregations that some of the nurses served. So when we sat down and had the dialogue about what does well-being mean to you, it really came to light that the community, the connections, the sense of belonging, the sense of value, that those were all what was really part of what made our nurses feel that they had good well-being. Some of the barriers were, conflicts within groups, some cliques, some other things, and the big one was being isolated. So what we did was we used this survey, and Matt had created a little QR code just specifically for us so we could drill down into looking at our data. And we found that isolation was a big deal. So we used that for our strategic planning this year. We are now having luncheons and inviting our nurses to our little monthly in-services a couple times a year to sit down and actually have lunch together and see each other again. So you can use this survey is really an important thing, I think, for looking at the well-being of some of the groups. When I asked our board, what stood out to you at this survey, I was told, well, it was watching younger nurses teach older nurses how to use a QR code on their smartphone. And I thought, you talk about bridging. Here is a way where you can bridge and teach some of us who are not as tech savvy how to respond, how to support you in your efforts. So I just encourage you to take the survey, go back with your groups, and have fun with it, because it really is a wonderful tool for you. So.
Hi, everyone. My name is Laura Welker. I live and work in Whatcom County, and I work with the Chuckanut Health Foundation, coordinating the Aging Well Whatcom initiative. I have not been part of this community of practice, but I am here to say why I am really excited about and supportive of this well-being survey. First of all, I think it's extremely unusual to focus on well-being. We tend to be siloed and fragmented in our approach to health. So we have a survey about transportation or about housing or about chronic disease. So one that focuses on well-being is fantastic. I really appreciate the work that the group has done on the research and the thoughtfulness that they've put into developing the tool itself. So Aging Well Whatcom will be engaging its partner organizations to push out the survey to older adults in Whatcom County through senior centers, low-income senior housing, Meals on Wheels, and many other channels. And my encouragement to all of you is to see what the channels might be in your communities, through your programs, through your partners, to also really push it out and so we can get a really good response rate. My hope is that that the North Sound ACH will be able to do this at regular intervals into the future. I know that's TBD, but I think well-being is something that if as a region and communities we could watch over time, it would be hugely important to all of us. So many kudos to the North Sound ACH, the community of practice, and I hope all of you will join me in really reaching out and promoting the survey so we get good results. Thanks.
And then I'm just going to wrap us up here. I know another survey, right? But I think this is different from maybe surveys you've seen or taken before or heard about. We're focusing on well-being with the survey. We're focusing on belonging with this survey as well, which I think is not something you get in like a usual a county community health assessment or something like that. It's not something we've really done in this region before, and this group has really come together to make this happen. But why are we doing it? I think that's an important question to ask. And the reason is, having the community tell us, what does well-being mean to them? What do they need? What do they have? What's working? What isn't? Where do they find belonging? What is getting in the way of them belonging to their communities? That can help inform the work that this network is doing, the work that the ACH is doing, I think for years to come. And letting our communities, letting our people tell us what to do instead of administering solutions to them. I think putting that power in the hands of the people we're serving is huge. So I would encourage you all. There are little note cards. Oh, thank you so much. There are little postcards on your tables and all the extras over at the resource table there. This is going to give you a link to the resource library on the North Sound website. We did our kickoff webinar a couple weeks ago. We're kind of in our main survey collection period now through early March. We had 250 folks register for today. If everyone just went back to their organization and did 10 surveys, that's 2,000 people. That's 2,000 voices telling us, what we need over the next couple years. And I think, we've talked a little bit about the uncertainty that we're going to experience over the next couple years. I think this focus on well-being and belonging is going to be huge. One of the other things that I do want to focus on too is this is just the start. I think we do want to talk about doing surveying in the future, but in 2025 we're also going to start launching into a dialogue series. So once we have these surveys put together, once we kind of know what community is telling us, we're going to take that back to the community. Bring people together and talk about it and start problem solving and building those short bridges and hopefully some long bridges. I would also encourage everybody, Natalie and Meg, if you want to kind of raise your hands or make yourselves visible. Meg is over there, Natalie's right here. They're going to be floating around today doing some kind of interview stuff around well-being and belonging in the survey, so feel free to talk to them. Feel free to come talk to me. I'm the bald guy in the back, and I'd be happy to chat with you. So thank you all very much. I appreciate you.